Welcome to Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. I'll be covering every studio song the band has recorded and every bonus track that I can find. Each week we'll go over a new song from the beginning to where they are currently, and as they keep adding albums, I'll keep adding shows. Let the deep dive party begin.
In the magic garden, some were singing, some were dancing.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. I am your host, Scott Haskin, and we got a great song for you today. There are two versions of this song. It is called Dream On, and going with the ongoing theme here of the subtitles on this album, the subtitle is Being in Love. It's very sweet. The two versions we have are the studio recorded version and then the single edit. And I can tell you, I just did the comparison between the two, and they actually chopped 58 seconds out of the song. The studio version is 4 minutes and 30 seconds. The single edit is 3:32 to get on the radio. There is nothing extended about it. The fade at the end ends exactly the same. So there's nothing extended or unique to play about it. So I'm not going to play it because there's really no reason to do that. So we're just going to play the regular song, the studio song. We'll dig into that right now. Here it is, Dream On by Uriah Heep. What a beautiful intro. I mean, to have just that nice rhythmic yet melodic bit coming from the rhythmic guitar here just sounds really nice. It's a nice bed that you could do a lot of things over. And then having this other guitar come in doing the solo bits, really a nice surprise. It's not a style that I'm used to hearing from Heep. It's really something quite different, both in having this sort of guitar intro without somebody else in the band doing something, even a keyboard playing, and then have just this type of picking before. So it really sounds good. I really like it, and I can't wait to see where the song goes.
Been traveling this road for so long. My eyes are tired, but I carry on. The sun lays down its golden threads. I need a place to rest my head. Although I am far from home now, my soul's with you. It's hard to be out here on my own, so far away, so far from home.
You know, for this just being a guitar and vocal section, I am absolutely loving the way that this sounds. Bernie's voice is so strong, and we've heard this where he sings just with keyboards in the opening as well, and then through, you know, the first verse on a couple other songs. I really love what Mick is playing here. I like that change in the middle. That was a really nice surprise. You figured something was coming, but the particular direction that they took was really nice. Very elegant type of song so far. And I love the sound of it. Then there's that real interesting delay again on Bernie's voice just in that one spot right before he comes in with the vocal harmony. It just sounds so good, so well put together and performed. The only thing is the vocals feel a little rushed to me, like he's trying to hurry up and say all this in a very short time frame. So I wonder if a slightly slower tempo might have worked better for the vocal line. Just for that reason. But apart from that, I love the tempo of it from a guitar standpoint. I think it's nice and warm. It moves. It keeps my interest. But the vocals just feel a little bit rushed here.
I need to touch and feel your skin to live this dream in sleep again. Although I am far from home now, my soul's with you. So dream on, freedom comes with timeless sleep. Dream on, dream on.
You know, the backing vocals sound really different here than they have in the other songs, so I'm not sure what the mix is of singers that we have that's creating this sound. but I really like it. It just has a different feel to it than we've heard even, on this album. And I think it sounds great. I think the whole atmosphere of the song is great. It's just a kind of a wonderful place that you want to be. I'd really like to hang out and be in this environment for a while because it feels good to be here. Really love this.
In the arms of night, your silent shadow gently speaks. Dream on, dream on.
Oh, that was just beautiful. I love that sound. And just the gentle pitch change there was really nice. But, it would be interesting if we had the isolated tracks to this. I bet those vocals would have a lot of reverb on them. I think that songs, a lot of times when they're blended, you can't tell exactly how much reverb they put on an individual instrument or a vocal. But as we've heard some of these individual vocal tracks coming out, it's really been amazing how many effects are actually on them, but they don't sound like it. It's more, again, you feel it just blended with the song. You don't really specifically know there's an effect on some particular sound that you're listening to. And I would bet that there is a lot of reverb on those vocals. I would be curious to hear any other audio engineers out there, your guys' thoughts on that. But my bet would be there's a fair amount here.
This hotel room's a lonely place. It's a one-night cell I must escape. So I drink away my loneliness so I can sleep and dream again. Although I am far from home now, my soul's with you. So dream on, dream on. Freedom comes with timeless sleep. Dream on.
Wow, I have to say I am really blown away by the backing vocals in this song. The choices, during the verse, they're like, we're actually going to use it to bring the tone down a little bit. And then in the choruses, they're like, we'll use it to thicken and bring it up a little bit. Really like that diversity in the song, but it just has such a good feel to it. The layers of vocals on this album have been absolutely fantastic and very consistent all the way through. And they're similar to the way they were on the last couple of albums, but for some reason, they're just shining through a little bit better in this recording session to me. Love the sound of it, love it. And now we're just starting to get, I'm going to go back and play that last part, but we're just starting to get a little bit of inflections of what sounds like a brass instrument synth. It's hard to tell exactly what I'm hearing because it's really kind of in the background, just shining through, just like the sun peeking through the clouds, just enough for you to know it's there, but not really light anything. I like that. I like the gentleness of the way that this is mixed together. It's a really beautiful song.
In the arms of night, your silent shadow gently speaks. Dream on, dream on. And as I fall into the darkness of the night, you come to rescue me, to shield me in your light. I feel your touch, the softness of your skin. You hold me close before the day breaks in. This dream's so true. My heart, it beats. It beats. It beats for you.
What a subtle build of synthesizers in the background of this. There's, in the verse part, you've got like a little bit of a warm pad coming in, and then it builds into this, upper mid-range string that hanging over us. It just sounds really, really lovely and powerful. Definitely has to be a Roland. When I talked to Phil recently, we were talking about the board that he used on this album, and we were talking about the Roland. I definitely feel like this would have been a Roland because at this time they were kind of the kings of orchestral sounds being sampled into keyboards. And this just sounds absolutely elegant and beautiful. And it's so subtly brought into the song that you really don't notice it being introduced. All of a sudden, you're just like, oh, wow, there's a string there. That's really cool. And man, it's just such a great song. I have to wonder if Elton John had heard this instead of Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, if he would be telling Uriah Heep this is the greatest song that he's ever heard, because it's just got such beauty, elegance, drama, but warmth to it all at the same time. It's a great piece of music right here.
For you. Although I am far from home now, my soul's with you. So dream on, dream on. Freedom comes with timeless sleep. Dream on, dream on. In the arms of night, your silent shadow gently speaks. So dream on, dream on. Dream on, dream on.
I don't know if you guys are hearing that, but there's just some really subtle notes being played on the keyboard there after the vocal. Just very gentle accents, nothing that really needs to stand out, but just something that gives it a little bit more depth and presence. I love that. I think it blends in with the song very well. Mick has been playing great through this whole song, very consistent. He's really a great guitar player, more than just a great riff writer and a great solo guitar player, a great wah pedal and whammy bar and everything else. He just is a very solid player, and you can hear how smooth his performance is on this song. There's a lot of guys that can't pull that stuff off. And I love hearing Mick do it. I think it's just the guitar tone on this song is really just rich and full, and it adds so much depth. You couple that with the vocal, and you just got magic and everything else that comes in to add to it. I'm really glad there's no drums in this song, to be honest. You could put a beat to it. You could have even just some gentle buzzing snares, and it might sound nice. But honestly, I really like that they didn't do that. And that's saying a lot, me being a drummer. I love the sound of this. I think it sounds really good.
So dream on, dream on. Dream on.
Yeah, what a gentle ending. I like that. Very elegant. The stop wasn't too abrupt. It was just enough of landing the plane on the tarmac. Nice and gentle, not bouncing up and down, not any kind of harsh ending. It just trailed off really nicely. Beautiful ending to a beautiful song. I really like this. I could see, a band like the Scorpions doing a song like this. They had, not as powerful of backing vocals, I don't think, is what we're hearing in this song, at least the songs that I know by them. But I think from a stylistic point, I think the Scorpions could do a good job with a song like this. But I love what Heap's done here. I mean, this is just a brilliantly written and brilliantly performed song. It doesn't need to be flashy or showy. It's very gentle. It's very subtle and very consistent. We don't have a lot of changes in parts. Mick is playing just all the way through, and it just sounds absolutely stunning to me. This is one that I'll listen to over and over and over again, I'm sure. Like a lot of songs on this album. I mean, every one of these, honestly, has really gripped me. And this was not an album that I was at all familiar with. So as I've been, going through these songs with you guys, these are first-time listens for me. And I'm just really blown away by how great this album sounds, how powerful the writing and the performances are. I mean, they've really come together, I think, by this point. And so we've only got a couple of songs to go, but I can't wait to get to them. So we'll be back tomorrow with the Friday episode of the podcast. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Cheers! Thank you for joining me on this episode of Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. If you have enjoyed this show, please consider going over to Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast outlet, leaving a rating or a review. Be sure to subscribe to make sure that you are notified when new episodes are available. Please be sure to share this podcast with your fellow Uriah Heep enthusiasts and anyone who you think would like Uriah Heep, which should be everyone. And if you are so inclined, please feel free to contribute to the Patreon account. And if you are not a Patreon subscriber, you can also pay through the PayPal link on the website listed in the show links below. I would also like to thank Uriah Heep for their very generous support of the show, and thank you guys for listening. We'll see you in the next episode. Happy days!